From Amateur Radio Newsline Report number 2149, these are the Ham Nation headlines for Wednesday, January 9th, 2019. As one of only two hobby activities requiring a license from the United States government, the other, by the way, is flying an aircraft, ham radio operators in the U.S. have been affected by the government shutdown. Newsline anchor Stephen Kinford, N8WB.
Newsline went to production on Thursday, January 3rd, just hours after the Federal Communication Commission in Washington, D.C. shut many of its operations, becoming one of the many U.S. government agencies to close down in the wake of the December 22nd partial government shutdown. The FCC made its announcement as deadlock between the President and Congress over funding for the controversial Mexican border wall entered its 14th day. The FCC systems to remain available to the public include the Universal Licensing System, the Commission Online Registration System, the Auction Application System, and the Auctions Public Reporting System. Spectrum auctions and related activities are to continue because the auctions are funded by their own proceeds. The FCC has originally been expected to shut previously, but the agency announced in late December it was able to delay such action for a little while because it had come up with available funds to continue its operations. With the partial closure, visitors to the FCC website will still be able to get online, but the agency will not be updating any information displayed there. Search engines will not work, license transactions will cease, and there will be no access to data about informal complaints filed with the agency.
In New York, hams are going back to school at the ARRL's New York City Long Island Section Convention, a gathering known as Ham Radio University.
The ARRL's New York City Long Island Section Convention is known as Ham Radio University, and the 20th annual event takes place Saturday, the 5th of January, on Long Island University's C.W. Post campus in Brookville. The ARRL's new CEO, Howard Mickle, WB2ITX, will be the keynote speaker, and attendees will have a full day of forums and workshops, 30 in all, including kit building, an overview of Skywarn, Raspberry Pi applications, and, of course, the digital modes. If you aren't anywhere near the New York area, you can still attend in spirit by working special event station W2HRU, which has been on the air already since the 29th of December, operating on 80, 40, and 20 meters. There will be a downloadable certificate confirming your contact. Meanwhile, if you are able to get there, think of it as a good day to fine-tune your radio skills, make new friends, and visit with some old friends. For Amateur Radio Newsline, I'm Jim Dameron, N8TMW.
While the rest of the world prepared to turn the calendar ahead in late December, members of the Greater Cincinnati Amateur Radio Association were turning back the clock for just a night on December 27th.
The date marked the club's annual AM night, which has been turning the weekly 160-meter sideband net into an AM net since the mid-1990s. According to JK8CJY, one of the 1936 net managers, it was a full night of AM with lots of participation. Jay told Newsline that 65 stations and SWLs checked into the net, with the most active amateurs checking in from 18 states. There were also SWL reports from Utah, Indiana, New York, Florida, and across the pond in England. Where rigs were concerned, it was indeed a night for classics. Jay said the station with the oldest transmitter was Joseph, WA4VAG, running a World War II aircraft rig. Other military rigs got into the action, including Net Control Station Bill NM4A, running a TMC GPT 750. In Malabar, Florida, Murray K4HV checked in with a Collins 20V3 broadcast transmitter. Jay said that some of the stations were running classic AM rigs from the 50s, while others checked in with the most up-to-date SDR rigs such as Flex radios. For Amateur Radio Newsline, I'm Jack Parker, W8ISH.
And that's all from the Amateur Radio Newsline, your independent source for amateur radio news for 4 decades and counting at arnewsline.org. With Stephen Kinford, N8WB, Jim Dameron, N8TMW, Jack Parker, W8ISH, Karen Eve Murray, KD2GUT at the news desk in New York, and our news team across the globe. I'm Don Wellbanks, AE5DW. 7-3. We'll see you next time here on Ham Nation.